Okay, maybe the audio won't even work on this, but I'm walking home from the train station, so I just thought I'd do a walk and talk, maybe post it to YouTube, I don't know. But the basic idea is that I haven't put any material on YouTube for a long time. A lot of people I follow have been demonetized. I recently made a podcast, I think on Castbox, that got 2 listens from someone, basically talking about demonetization, censorship, and it's a bit of a problem. So I'm just doing something that I can do whilst walking home, just completely spontaneously, randomly. This tree, I've been photographing this tree for over 10 years. Look at this place. This is sunset in April in Croxley, just outside London. Anyway, so I don't have anything planned or scripted. I'm just completely saying this off the top of my head. I'll try not to ramble or, make this a boring rant. So, but we have a basic problem. You have Silicon Valley, some of the most powerful companies on earth, mostly with a left of centre slant, and pushing, what I would call neo-Marxist shit, stuff like feminism, intersexual feminism, and every kind of ism that involves the idea that there are people in society who are more oppressed and disadvantaged than others. Now, that's true. I'm not denying that. What I am saying is that when anyone puts their head above the parapet, like Jordan Peterson, what's his name, Milo Yiannopoulos, Christina Hoff-Summers, Karen Strown, I can go on listing all my heroes, people who represent a broad variety of political ideologies, but, a lot of them will get lumped together as the alt-right, which they are not. Now, this is the thing, just by saying that the solution to world's inequalities is not somehow, changing the playing field to give special treatment to those with disadvantages. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to try and create equality of opportunity and then let society do the rest. Now, I'm all in favour of good representation in the media, don't get me wrong. That's one thing I do agree with. I agree with, in a TV show, having a certain percentage of characters from different ethnicities to be represented, but not doing it in such a way that, what could be a really good piece of art ends up being an overly formulated piece of crap. But the media has a responsibility to reflect society and to give people representation, to give people ideas and encouragement. So when you watch TV soap that's just full of doom and gloom and really horrible characters doing horrible things to each other, people think that that's somehow normal and it's okay. If anything, what you watch on TV especially, and what you see in the movies, it should be encouraging people to be better. There's not enough good, positive characters out there. So I'm in favour of government at least partially controlling the media, not totally. I believe in a free market economy. Actually, I think the expression is a mixed market economy where, for example, you have the BBC operating alongside commercial institutions. Now, the BBC is a bad example. Actually, they are pretty shit right now. They've been pretty shit for over 20 years. But the basic idea that you can have programming, whether it's newspapers, TV, radio, or an internet presence, programming articles that sort of help shape society. And you can call that propaganda, you can call it brainwashing. I believe that we're all brainwashed through our own free will. We choose to turn the radio on, we choose to turn the TV on, we choose what books to read. We brainwash ourselves, we choose that for ourselves. So I don't have a problem with institutions sort of pushing their own agenda, but, you know, it's got to be done in a fair and reasonable way. I mean, what I do have a problem with, though, is censorship, the kind of censorship where people get deplatformed from YouTube for their opinions. They get demonetized. They, you know, if you've got one of these accounts where people can subscribe and make donations to you, off the top of my head, I can't remember the names of these sites, but there are loads of them. Patreon is one. So, you know, you subscribe to someone, you get special exclusive content, and you basically help fund them. Well, you know, you've got even PayPal cancelling people's accounts because they don't like what they're using PayPal for. You've got Tumblr that had the big porn ban last year, and that's hilarious how ineffective that was. You get flagged for content that isn't really that bad, and then other people post stuff that's, well, you know, worse than ever, and they get away with it. And I don't understand the algorithms that decide what's okay and what isn't. It's completely ineffective. But this is the problem. When you automate things, you actually create more of a problem than you solve. And there aren't enough people on Earth to be hired to sit in front of computer terminals monitoring content. Social media is too big. You know, we have 7.5 billion people on the planet. I think at least 3.5 billion people have internet access. Let's say we're soon going to reach 4 billion people using the internet. Now, you cannot police every single one of those people, so why even try? Why demonetize someone's YouTube for their opinions? Why deplatform someone? Why remove someone from Twitter? When you've got the President of the United States posting the most shocking things, you know? Why would you then deplatform someone for expressing an opinion that, say, is supposedly misogynistic or racist? I don't get it. I really don't. It's not consistent. It's not fair. So, I'm against censorship. If that's something that I can make clear, if that makes any sense. I'm against censorship. I'm against any kind of sort of silencing of free speech. But at the same time, whilst recognising free speech is important and absolutely defending free speech, I recognise that the media is made up of a lot of different organisations, and I want to encourage as much variety in the media as possible, a variety of voices, a variety of corporations and smaller companies able to get their platform out there to the world. Now, you've then got the European Union have just passed legislation. Well, it's actually got one more reading to go, I think. But if that comes into effect in 2 years' time, well, put it this way. People talk about link taxes and, you know, having to have a specific agreement with content creators to use their content. So say, for example, I create a meme and it's my own meme. It's my photography, my artwork, my captions. Let's say other people share it across social media, and then those companies get penalised for not having an agreement with me to share that material. Well, I don't give a shit. It's the internet. I don't need to sign a contract with every single social media website to share my stuff. I just want it shared. You know, stuff going viral, that's its own reward, right? So basically you're killing creativity, you're killing viral content by saying, oh, you've got to have a contract with every single content creator. Or say, for example, I Google some images and I edit them and I make a meme using other people's photos. Well, that can be removed because it's not mine. Again, well, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So this European Union legislation could kill the internet, at least in Europe, and as a knock-on effect, most of the Western world. That's wrong. That's stupid. It's scary. So where's the balance? And this is a problem. Where's the balance, right? You criticise a feminist, you get called a misogynist, which is ridiculous. You criticise Black Lives Matter for encouraging the murder of police, and suddenly you're a racist. You know, you don't care about black people because, you know, you dare to criticise a movement like Black Lives Matter, who have done a lot of good work. They've created an awareness that needed to be created, and, you know, excuse me. Right, so, you know, it's all about name-calling and counter-accusations and mudslinging, and no actual real debate and discussion. When you do debate and discuss stuff, you end up being called a dangerous intellectual. You end up worrying both the left and the right. You know, the right-wing media don't know what to do with you, the left-wing media don't know what to do with you. But what we're increasingly finding is there needs to be, and there is, a middle ground. People talk about centrist movements, populist movements. Well, a lot of these mean different things to different people in different countries. That's something that you've got to be very careful with. But, you know, it's the age-old thing of, do you want the red one or the blue one? And people are sitting up and realising they don't want either. You know, if I offer you a pen, do you want the red pen or the blue pen? Well, neither. Do you have a black one? Do you have a white one? Do you have an orange one? Do you have a purple one? We've been sold a con since the beginning of time, the idea that there is free will choice, but not that tree in the middle of the garden. You know, not that one. You can have fruit from any tree in the Garden of Eden, but not that one. You know, so, and then, you know, humanity throughout history has made decisions that have not always been great. People make bad decisions. It's human nature. We all do. We make mistakes. What happens? What happens really when those decisions weren't really free will choice, but they were controlled and contrived? Like, when you go to the polling booth to vote, you have a choice, at least in my country, well, where I live in my town. If I'm voting for the local council, I know it's a choice between the Liberal Democrats and the Tories. Anything else is a wasted vote. If I'm voting nationally to put someone in Parliament, to put a politician in Westminster, I know that my choice is between Labour and Tory, because voting Liberal Democrat or Green is a wasted vote. But then if I'm voting for a European candidate, my Euro MP, I won't necessarily have that option anymore if we leave the EU. I'm proudly European, I voted to remain, and as usual, I vote for the losing candidate. I voted remain in the referendum. Slightly more people across the country voted leave. So, crazy. That's absolutely insane, and it was all based on a lie. People made the choice of remain or leave based on a pack of lies. So it wasn't really a fair choice. It wasn't really an informed decision. The referendum was the biggest con in British political history, but we've been conned throughout history since the beginning of time. you know. And I think I'm beginning to ramble and maybe not make sense. And I don't even know if the audio is being picked up on this. So I'm going to end this. It's a 15-minute video. I'm nearly home. I'll end this here and see if I can upload it to YouTube or something when I get home. But anyway, if you did watch this and listen to this, thanks for listening. And maybe I'll make another video like this again sometime.